As you guys know, I'm kind of breaking up over multiple segments the different interviews I did with Trump supporters at the rally in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, that for perspective occurred right before the midterms. Of course, we're sitting here recording this. Who knows when this clip will get uploaded, but we're recording this right on the Wednesday after the midterms. And so it's an interesting perspective now to have of the conversations that were done. But I have 3 more that I want to take a look at with you. The first is someone just outright telling me, after a little bit of conversation, that, yeah, you couldn't pose anything to me that would change my opinion. Nothing would change my opinion about what I believe, no matter what you show me. Well, that's not how... What? That's horrible. Let's take a look at this.
And we're seeing kind of a phenomenon going into this midterms is very different than others, where a number of GOP candidates have indicated kind of, you've probably seen they get asked, like, are you going to concede if you lose? And it's like, no, if we lose, it's probably because the Democrats stole it. Is that a mindset that you guys share?
You want to answer anything?
Oh, I definitely think it was stolen. I always think that. They could tell me it's a lie, and I'll never believe that it was legit.
Interesting. That is something that a lot of times I'll say in conversations, like, what would I have to show you or pose to you that would change your mind on that particular issue?
I don't think there is anything to show. I remember looking back when they was showing all these people at the election places where the votes were. And everybody's running around covering up windows and stuff. Nobody wanted them to see in what...
Yeah, so we've discussed how those claims are very much either incorrect. She's either been lied to, or in the case of windows being covered, there was different instances where protesters were harassing workers because they were looking in the windows and knowing who the people were and making a whole ruckus. And so at some point, you need some privacy, you need safety. That does not mean that there weren't Republicans and Democrats in the room, as we have with our election process, which is a very good one. But I'm sure she's not aware of that. Next moment I want to take a look at with you.
That is our right as an American, that our votes count, and it did not count in the 2020 election.
Can I press y'all or ask y'all about that specifically? So with all the evidence that I am, hearing a lot from people here that they believe that and feel like they've seen that evidence, why, for someone who's trying to strictly go to things that they know can be verified, has that not been shown up in any of the court cases that have been done, plus any of the audits that have been done among the many?
There's corruption.
And the audits, they weren't audits that, counted the votes. They weren't an audit. It was an audit in a sense, but it wasn't an audit to actually, count the votes and the errors.
It was an audit, but it wasn't an audit that audited the audit. Okay, I hear what it is an audit. They weren't counting with.
Wait. But it's not an audit.
But it was. You're confused.
That went on during, the election.
With all the love in the world, the reason why I have a hard time believing some of these claims is because, like, the corrupt point would maybe make more sense if a lot of the judges that these cases were put in front of were appointed by Trump. And so I guess, is it even them too?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying there.
Yes. A lot of people that were appointed by Trump really, backstabbed him. He has been Bill Barr, Pence. You hear the drain the swamp. The swamp, I think, runs so deep, deeper than any of us ever could have possibly imagined.
So that's what's interesting. You saw with the first one, setting the stage of, it doesn't matter what you show me or what you pose to me. I'm just going to believe this because I want to believe it. And then you go to these 2 other ladies that have a different framing. Well, they do want to engage. It's not that you can't show me anything, but if you do show me something, I'll have an answer that there's just no way for me to get around. Because if you say the deep state goes so deep that anything you show me could just be manipulated by them, and any evidence we could find could be manipulated, and any real forms of evidence that would prove what I'm saying can't be found because it's all suppressed by the all-powerful deep state. What do I do with that? I can't engage with that in any meaningful way. And then finally, a gentleman with just a truly incomprehensible conspiracy theory about the Pope controlling everything and Catholics. Very strange.
What do you want to hear from Donald Trump tonight?
Make America great again.
And what has made it not great?
what has made it not great is what's going on right now. Open borders, high inflation, everything that's going on right now is just diametrically opposed. The economy, the taxes, 86,000.
If you missed it, he did say diametrically opposed.
IRS agents. I mean, we have all night. I mean, the moon will set tomorrow by the time.
So, like you said, there's so many issues. Let's zero in on one. Inflation. Are you saying you blame Joe Biden for inflation?
Well, when you sit there and you stop fossil fuels and the country's running out of diesel in 17 days and no trucks, no boats, no planes, nothing's going to be moving, yeah, you might want to open up fossil fuels. I think this is coming. I think it's coming from the Vatican. The Vatican's meeting today with world leaders.
That. He goes, let's watch that again. He goes, I think this is coming.
That little pause.
Should I be saying this?
Wait for it.
You know what? I'm going for it.
And no trucks, no boats,
I
no
think
planes,
this is
nothing's
going
going to be moving. Yeah, you might want to open up fossil fuels. I think this is coming. I think it's coming from the Vatican. The Vatican's meeting today with world leaders at Mount Sinai. Joe Biden's getting his marching orders from the Jesuit oath. If you open up the Jesuit, and this might look crazy to these people, I don't really care.
Yes, it is.
Google the Jesuit oath. When Joe Biden was elected president, he opened up with a Jesuit priest on a Jesuit Bible. We've had 2 Roman Catholic presidents in this country, and Joe Biden has taken orders. Just read the Jesuit oath. That explains so much of everything.
So that happens a lot too in interviews when they kind of start getting confused about their own conspiracy theory, and they'll be like, just go search this thing. And I'm like, no. Your job is to explain. You're the one telling me the conspiracy. It's not my job to go research your conspiracy. You tell me what's the conspiracy theory. I don't get it. The Pope is behind the scenes controlling Biden, which I'll be honest, that's a new one for me on the ground at those rallies. I hadn't heard the Pope theory there.
Vatican Church.
But one of the things I feel like I have to repeat, and now I have, the past few days I've talked about these stories, producer Ben wasn't with me, but you can say as a witness to all of this, we were not cherry picking people. I always get accused of that. Oh, you just find the goofiest people. We asked every person.
Every single person, we walked up to them. Some said no, but every single person that we asked, just, yeah, sure, let's do this interview.
Every person who walked by, we would say, do you want to do an interview? We weren't saying, oh, does this person look goofy because he's wearing a yellow and, blue sweater or whatever. We just, as people walked by, you want to do an interview? You want to do an interview? And whoever said yes, we interviewed. And this is what we're showing you. And these are the views that are being held by people at Trump rallies in real life. These are real people. It's crazy. I don't know how to process that. It's really, truly nuts. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before any of the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get access to an extra full show every Saturday that only members can see, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley, and there is a link in the description.